Apple is getting ready to release the thinnest iPhone it has ever made, the iPhone 17 Air. Rumors say it will be just 5.5 millimeters thick, making it one of the slimmest smartphones ever. While that sounds impressive, leaks suggest Apple may have to give up some performance to make it so thin. A reliable source, Fixed Focus Digital, says the iPhone 17 Air will use a special version of Apple's newest A19 Pro chip. Normally, this chip is expected to power the iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max, offering the best performance Apple can deliver. But in the Air, it may not be as powerful. Reports say it will have a 5-core GPU instead of the 6-core GPU in the Pro models. For most everyday activities like browsing the web, checking social media, or watching videos, the missing GPU core probably won't matter much. But if you play heavy 3D games or edit high-quality videos, you might notice the graphics being a little slower. This is not the only change Apple might make. Thinner phones usually have a harder time dealing with heat because there's less space inside for cooling. This could mean the iPhone 17 Air will slow down sooner to avoid overheating, especially during long gaming or video editing sessions. Even if the chip starts out as fast as the Pro models, it might not be able to keep that speed for long periods. Battery life could also take a hit. A thinner body means a smaller battery, and even though the A19 Pro chip is energy efficient, the phone may still run out of power faster than larger models. You might get short bursts of high performance, but not for as long as with thicker phones that hold bigger batteries. The camera setup may also be less advanced. The Pro models are expected to have 3 rear cameras, ultra-wide, wide, and telephoto, but the iPhone 17 Air might only have 1 rear camera to save space. That's a big downgrade for people who like having different zoom options. The display might not be as advanced either. Rumors suggest the iPhone 17 Air could skip the higher refresh rate screens in the Pro models and stick to a standard refresh rate. This means animations and scrolling may not look as smooth. There's also talk of slower 5G speeds and only 1 speaker instead of 2, which would mean no stereo sound. When you compare this to rivals, the trade-offs become clearer. Samsung's Galaxy S5 Edge, for example, is also thin but still has 2 cameras, a high refresh rate display, and a top-tier Snapdragon 8 Elite chip. That shows it's possible to be thin without giving up too much performance. Surveys show that many people actually prefer a bigger battery over a super thin design. They'd rather carry a phone that's slightly thicker. It means it can last all day on a single charge. That's why some experts think the iPhone 17 Air might not become Apple's best-selling model. It will still appeal to certain buyers, people who care more about style, lightweight, and portability than raw power or battery life. For them, the iPhone 17 Air could be perfect. It will look beautiful, feel incredibly light in the hand, and stand out as Apple's sleekest phone ever. But for power users, gamers, photographers, or anyone who needs their phone to handle heavy workloads, the trade-offs could be too much. Giving up a GPU core, dealing with possible overheating, having a shorter battery life, losing extra cameras, and skipping high refresh rate displays may be a big price to pay, especially if the phone still costs as much as a premium flagship. In the end, the iPhone 17 Air could be one of the most unique and debated iPhones Apple has ever made. Some will call it a bold move toward ultra-thin, ultra-light devices. Others will see it as choosing style over substance. Whether it succeeds will depend on how much buyers are willing to trade performance and features for a sleek design. One thing is certain, when it arrives, the iPhone 17 Air will get people talking. It's a risky but attention-grabbing step from Apple, and it could either become a design icon or a reminder that sometimes thin isn't everything.